Just gotta give thanks. Source. All through you. God. Thank you. She giving deep tingles and some chills with every verse revealed. The look to kill, spilling God's will. Climbing up a hill forever to the top. Off the top, never brought can to pop like a soda top. Can never flop, demons on my shoulders dropped off. Not a sucker, far from soft. I done been through a transmute all them faults. I cut them lost, them bombs was tossed in the abyss. No resist, born to persist. Keeping closed fists just to flex the floss on my wrist. With a smile to match the flawless gist. Pimped up, giving more like I'm generous. Sweet but ain't for kids, like some licorice. Plenty try, but few can get with this. Got it from the love, free the nips, clear the clips. Save a life both ways. To be grounded is how I'm spending most days. Life of days or a haze of delusion. Feeling pleasure even into your worst days. We pray the pain away, cause the peace is here to stay. Got a vibe that's rare, but meant to replay. Yeah, yeah, Run that shit. Rising, y'all. Beautiful rising. Hey, that rooster, it be going off at any time of the day, but I think the energy is perfect. How y'all doing? I hope it's well. If it's not well, that's okay. In this video, I wanted to speak on happiness and like that energy signature overall. Wanted y'all to get to know me a little bit. I have a pretty busy day, so I want to make sure I get this out. I planned to get it out yesterday, but I feel like just now I'm tired. I remember back in the beginning when I used to express. It was always a natural flow, but incorporating that into my lifestyle wasn't so natural. Consistency is not a natural thing for my energy, I would say. The reason why it's not natural is because I like to transition. I like to do different things. I like to explore. I like to see what life is about. I had another Sagittarius who is going to England today, and she's leaving her mother's house for the first time, and I just thought that was so principled to mention because of the fact that she's literally leaving her mom for the first time and going somewhere I never been, and I be everywhere if you know a little bit about me. But I've never been to England, so I just appreciate how expensive this life can be and all the ways that you could be. And one of the things that I choose to be consistent in all these phases is like the energy of happiness. Like I choose that. What that looks like is this. It's like things that show me my power, things that reassure me of my value, things that actually fulfill me, like things that makes me feel a certain type of positive way, like what we're gonna do today, and y'all gonna see in a video and things as such. That makes me happy because excuse me, I'm drinking some water in the morning. I actually literally just got up, and I feel like rest is important, but it makes me happy because I have that option. And I feel like there aren't a lot of people to have that option. A lot of people that I physically know or have known don't have the option to live the life that I live and to be able to explore. One of the biggest things that this podcast has shown me is that it's okay to do things in different ways and still get the same objective in the end. I post my videos every Sunday. So I mention that, but not really to me. I mention that to myself because if it's not every Sunday, then it's every 2 weeks and things of sort like that. But I remember a large portion of my life where I wasn't in a state of happiness or fulfillment or seeking that at all. And what came was the energy of complacency, being complacent, pretty much. And what that looks like is just not having a drive, not necessarily thinking outside of the box of what your life has given you. So if you have a job, you like literally just feel like your job is to your job in this world is to fulfill that job or that service that has any, sometimes it don't even have anything to do with you. If it's your own business and you're entrepreneurial, that's a different vibration because you're bringing something into the world. But a lot of times when I'm not happy or when I wasn't happy, I didn't feel like I was bringing anything into the world, and thus like my jobs, I was just another worker, and I literally represented that. Like all I did was work for someone else and then not cultivate myself. And it's like the more and more I seek happiness and fulfillment within myself now, it leads me in these directions. It's easy for me to go ahead and record these videos, and it's easy for me to record the music and to write it, but the transition of how that plays out, like I wrote my rap like 3 days ago, recorded it last night. Well, I guess I don't know, the days are mixing, but like one of these nights over the weekend, and it's like raw, like this shit is fresh, and it's like fresh off the thought pattern, and so it's cultivated, but I don't necessarily see how it's driven. And that's the beauty that I feel like I allow God to do, because I know subject matter, and I know that, like, with me being happy, me being in a form of consistency and just what I want to represent in this world, I know that this podcast will lead in a certain vibration. But then it's also like every week I'm giving for maybe somebody else, for the same person maybe, but for different reasons. So I just always try to make sure that I tie it into the energy of the song. So this song kind of was like a deep diary entry type of a vibe. Like you get a look into my mind with this entry, and I hope that you replay it, especially if you're listening to this part right now. Y'all have to replay the song because, bro, I went in on the like lyrics, and thank God, like, because those is one of those raps that it was just like, but it's like as I'm listening to it and re-listening to it and reading it over, it's like, wow, that it's really how I feel. And beyond that, I feel like sometimes when I'm happy, it doesn't take anything. It's nothing that needs to be given. It's nothing that needs to be done. It's nothing that needs to be reassured beyond just knowing that I have a place that is holding value. And, even if people can compare, because my happiness this weekend, another thing that I did was lay in the bed. Like when I got up, I was in the bed for like another hour before I got out the bed, because my bed is cozy, and oftentimes I don't have the option when I'm working or whatever to lay in the bed. So it was just beautiful to be able to do that. And that could be my happiness, to be able to literally do what I want, when so many parts of my life I was just doing what was told of me, whether it was going to school, getting up like 5 a.m. because my school was not really close to me. Like I didn't have the privilege of having a school bus take me anywhere and stuff like that. But it's beautiful when you go walk to a bus stop and all that stuff. But I used to get rides, and so it was always a journey to get where I was going. And even now, it was like going up the mountain steady forever. Is always like, just imagine that feeling of when y'all, if y'all ever been hiking, like just the aspect of continuously going up a mountain, like what does that make you? Me. Um And even when I'm not necessarily in a higher vibration, being happy to me is taking time to really listen to myself and what myself is telling me. I feel like however you move is still up to just the journey, and you can have control over that, but sometimes you can't really manipulate the bigger picture, because even now I don't see the bigger picture. I just really have to be in tune to what myself is telling me and trusting the divinity of that. But when I'm not so perked up, I had a moment of really just sadness and being kind of somber because of my past and the things that I've experienced. And then I always just reassure myself, and I come back to, okay, why was that needed? And I love that once you get older, it makes sense, because there's so many years of your life when it don't make sense. Like there's some things that don't make sense to me now, but the bigger picture makes sense to me because I can see what this world is about and what life is about, especially when you're living it for you, like actually doing something to be creative for yourself or to be productive or actually thriving in your life and not just being complacent, like I mentioned earlier. The biggest picture that I wanted to say today for this week, that happened in the past that you can't change, but also to come until y'all see me again. One of the biggest revelations or the things that I'm tapping into is to obviously take my time and trust that flow, but also know that I have control over how I feel about it. Like really looking at the bigger picture of the circumstance and making it make sense for you, and putting it yourself and your reactions in a predicament to where you trust that that moment was built for you. Unless you're around me, because every moment, everybody in my circle, y'all gonna be manipulated for my better service. Even when I'm going to work and people want to be on that weird stuff, actually you had to be weird so that this situation could play out still in my favor type shit. Like putting that mindset in your head will change things, because we shouldn't be a victim in our own life, especially when you can use all of you. And to the people that are different and are definitely like the truest stars, the people that people say have disabilities, you have more abilities to me, because you can build outside of that box naturally in your lifestyle and show people what's different. So I hope y'all take advantage of that opportunity in the ways where you still construct and know that this world was built for you to be able to express yourself in. Yeah, we need that. So that's why I do it. I love y'all. I see y'all next week. I gotta get out of here because I got a whole 40-minute drive. I'm gonna turn up and still gonna try to get this video out to y'all before the sun go down. So we're gonna keep on moving with that. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all watching this. I think this is episode 11. Oh my God, episode 11. Hey, I was reading this podcast thing and they said a lot of people don't get past episode 3 or 5. And then it was like when you get past episode 10, it's like really a build. It's like a legendary time. So yeah, this novel that actually was granted to me by my second mom, Miss Willis. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the things that at one point it seemed like a task and now is more like a leisure to have done it. So y'all have a beautiful day. Y'all remember, make it your way. Peace.